What does it feel like to be on steroids? First of all, shout out to Lightspeed. We got a Lightspeed titanium bike here. If you want to see the specs of this bike, go to my durianrider Cycling Tips YouTube channel. What does it feel like to use steroids? Now, this is more of a personal story here. I'm not recommending using anabolic steroids or contraceptive pill or whatever steroids you may be using. Or anyway, just saying. This is my stories. Take it how you want it to take it. Not an endorsement. But often people ask me, what does it feel like to use steroids? Now, by steroids, I don't mean, stuff that's probably fake or underdosed and you got it from the internet or some, whatever. It's very, very common and easy to get. Not recommending it. I'm talking prescription grade stuff you've got from the hospital or your doctor, etc. So the real deal anabolic steroids. What does it feel like? I'm going to talk about, obviously, when you're using, I love it when people say, I'm just using TRT. Like, if you're just using TRT, I couldn't pick in a lineup of who's using TRT. I'd be like, maybe. It's very, very hard to tell. Once you start using 500 milligram plus, then it becomes very, very noticeable, especially if you've got a before and after picture there. All right, so all these people are saying their transformations from TRT, they're just like Greg Douchet and all those. They're just, or they're maintaining this really enhanced aesthetic, just maintaining on TRT, just 120. I was doing 120 milligram a week. Actually, no, now I'm doing 108 milligrams a week. It's just like they're absolutely just jerking that veggie gherkin, right? Absolute BSing you. And once you use prescription grade gear, anabolics at certain dosages, I've used 20 milligram a week, 100 milligram a week, 750, 1,000 milligram a week. And then, I know what that feels like and how it makes my physique look and my face, etc. And you start to go, okay, now I see what people are doing. People are using large dosages. All right, now I'm not saying you should, I'm saying that's what they're doing. But people, they want to downplay it. So I'm just using 80 milligram a week. I just got superior genetics and I just train really hard and it's just about diet. It's like people are scared. The main reason people use anabolic steroids is for cosmetic reasons, to get more approval. And that's okay, we understand that, but it's like, so when you understand someone's using it, they're going to lie about it typically. 99% of anabolic steroid users lie about it, all right? And the 1% who are honest about it will be hard. Oh yeah, I used it when I was 18, didn't do anything, the rock. Or no, I'm just doing TRT, So it's very, very rare you'll find someone who's really open. There's only two people I know, in YouTube world, and that's bodybuilder in Thailand, Dan, and Jordan, I think it's Jordan Oakley, another YouTuber, who are totally transparent what they actually do, right? Duchesne's not transparent, Vigorous Steve, more dates and stuff, and no hate to these guys, they serve some sort of value, but they're not transparent what they do for various reasons, but they're not transparent. They say, just this and these guys are like, you got to blast to maintain that science, on and off, blast cruise. You can't just do blast and then just maintain on 120 milligram. You just got to, the body doesn't want to be huge. It doesn't want to be super fat. It doesn't want to be super muscular. It's bad for your heart, your joints, etc. Once you get into a certain size, obviously. We're not talking 10 or 20 kilos more muscle. We're talking just wow, that person's really big, really super. Wow, that person's really muscular. Or wow, that person's, is that Jabba the Hutt? Oh no, it's not. It's VidCon, So, and again, it's just call it how I see it. What does it feel like though mentally on steroids? I would say it feels like you're going to bed at around 7 or 8 p.m. every night. If you want to replicate the neurohormonal benefits of anabolic steroids, the positivity or whatever, the drive, the focus, go to bed 7, 8 p.m. every night for a month. Do that. And that's what it feels like to take probably around 300 to 500 milligrams of test a week. Prescription grade. Not fake stuff, not underdosed. Yeah, it's real. My friend tested it, but it's only 100 milligram. It's only 20 milligram a mil. It's just you haven't used gear, in my opinion, until you use prescription grade. I should say you haven't used test until you use prescription grade test. All right, just saying. So then you know exactly what your dosages are. All right. I've never ran any AIs, it's not that, and you can look how lean my face is, because I eat super, super low fat. and I do a little bit of cardio. All right, super low fat. I've been a vegan for like 20 something years, so my estrogen intake, my food is super low, super low. So I think there's something in that as well. Definitely, I think if you're going to use anything, you should be definitely doing vegan or mostly vegan and low fat, like strict low fat, like under 10, 20 grams of fat a day. And you won't have that, like, you just get lean gains, not that puffiness that people get. And look at More Dates, More Plates. Again, he has some great value. He's really uncovered how much people dosages and stuff people use, except himself. But he's saying sugar's bad. Sugar, he's now promoting this, I think it's Magic Spoon cereal. I was like, oh man, I really feel for the guy. I'm just like, man, like, you think sugar's bad. You think sugar makes you fat. So this is a guy who's like, running away from sugar. Like, sugar's like chasing him around the supermarket. Sugar's chasing him through his head. Sugar's chasing him around the pantry. And he's saying, oh, sugar's bad. And he has some sugar. He beats himself up when he has some sugar. Derek has a few tablespoons of sugar and he beats himself up about it. Like a big, strong, grown man with 1 million subscribers on YouTube beats himself up because he has a few tablespoons of sugar. Man, I was just like, man, that's a nightmare. I feel really, really sad for that dude, man. Here's me. I'm having like 6, 7, up to 1,200 grams of sugar a day for the last 2 decades, regardless of how much I ride or not. I just listen to my sugar cravings. I never, ever deny my sugar cravings, be it fruit or sugar on my watermelon or sugar in my smoothies. Tonight I had sugar and white rice for dinner. White rice as much as I wanted, sugar on top, soy milk, low fat, and cinnamon as much as I wanted. Feel fantastic. About to go to sleep, and I know I'll sleep deep. So I know my legs tomorrow are going to feel so good. But that's what it feels like to be on steroids mentally, is going to bed early, man. And I use stimulants occasionally, but never, ever if I'm tired. Ever. If I'm like, I can't, I'm going to have a sleep, I'm going to have a nap as long as I want, And today I had a little nap. I just drifted off. It's just like, oh man, it's bliss, absolute bliss. I don't have kids, I had a vasectomy, so I don't have to worry about that. And just bliss. And then me and Natasha went to the mall and just went in town. I was just like, now I'm really firing. This feels really good. But that clarity, So if I ever do use stimulants, one or few times a week or whatever, it works really effective. And I take like a quarter dose, micro dose, never ever a full dose. If you need a full dose of the stim, whatever you're using, if you need a full dose, you're underslept, you're dehydrated, and or you're undercarbed, you're undersugared. And then you burn yourself out. Then you're going to spike your cortisol, because every stim raises cortisol. And sugar decreases cortisol. Go figure, all right? So all these people who are doing this like low carb, sugar phobic stuff, they're just smashing the stims, the Gorilla Mind, the Coke or the modafinil or the phenamine or just all this stuff, man. All this stuff. And in high doses as well. We're not talking like once a week or microdose or whatever. We're talking like relying on a pre-workout, Jack 3D, It's crazy. I feel really sad because I know these people must feel shit, man. They would absolutely feel shit. I would feel shit. That's why I don't use that stuff every day. That's why I get the sleep. That's why I get the water, get the sugar, keep my diet low fat. Because I don't want to have a face like a pumpkin. And that's just me. If you do have a face like a pumpkin, it doesn't make you a bad person. But you got these guys out there doing AI blockers, like tamoxifen and letrozole. They're using AIs to reduce the puffiness in their face. to get rid of like, I'm so what? These things, man, gotta make you feel like shit. I don't know. They feel like I've never ever used an AI. I don't think I ever would. I'm like, why would I use that? I'm a huge fan of like spreading the dosages out over the week, or even twice day shots versus just like one blast on one day and then a week of nothing or 2 weeks of nothing, then another blast. That's just like, for me, insanity. That's like running 500 milligrams of D-bol on one day and then taking nothing for 10 days, or 13 days. What it's like, what are you doing, man? People using massive horse picks, and it's like, why aren't you using slim pins, man? I don't know. So I just come into everything with a logical approach. Now, I'm not saying you should do any of this. I'm just saying, just share my experiences. Definitely don't do any of this stuff. But if you're curious what it feels like mentally for drive and focus and paying attention, going to bed early, man. Like going to bed 7, 8, 9 p.m. Man, that is the bomb. So I've done that. I've done that before. Done that for months when I used to live in California. Going to bed super early, just getting like 12, 16 hours just in my sleeping bag, bike touring out there, camping out and stuff, and just feeling so sharp next day. So good next day. And then also running super late nights, going to bed at 3 a.m. for like, a few weeks here and there, just going crazy with the ladies and stuff, and having that sort of element of my life, and that was fun. But so I can honestly speak from both sides of the fence. What it feels like, what it feels to be totally straight, like super natty straight, like not even drinking caffeine, not even drinking Red Bull, not even drinking raw organic cacao because I had too much stims, to like doing street drugs like 20 odd years ago, blah blah blah. To doing prescription stims as well, to understand what they do to your body and how similar they are to street drugs and how dangerous they can be and how easy they can be to abuse and get reliant on. So, yeah, I can speak from experience, man. I didn't go to university and read a textbook and this is what the textbook, this is what my professor says, and hey, that's got some sort of benefit as well, not for sure, but nothing beats real life experience. Like, what does it feel like to ride a titanium bike with Mavic serums and 120 psi and your 4,025 mil time? What does it feel like? What does it feel like to ride that when you're in ketosis? It feels like shit. What does it feel like to ride that when you've got super physiological levels of muscle glycogen in your legs and you had that good sleep and your T levels are great and your estrogen levels are high normal, you're feeling on top of the world, your cadence right and you're pacing the power? What does it feel like? I know what those things feel like. So I really encourage people to experiment in life, and if it's safe to do so, if it's safe, but experiment in things, I feel like, this is what it feels like. Oh wow, okay, now I see what Harley's on about. So yeah, that's the deal there. Early nights, man. Early nights are so underrated. So underrated. 8, 9, 7 p.m. Go to bed like that, man. Get up at whenever you want to get up. Man, you'll be charging. Turning your phone off. Like the phone, especially see with teenagers, the phone is robbing your youth. It's making you look older in the face than you should when you're 18 or 20 or 23 or whatever. You know what I mean? If you want to keep that young, innocent glow, go to bed 7, 8 p.m. All right? And you'll preserve that. Trust me, you're having that young face when you're young. Maximize that. Don't be doing lip fillers and Botox and all that stuff and make yourself look like you're 40 when you're 20. Do that when you're 40 if you want, but you don't have to. But, when you're 20, you want to look like you're 20. When you're 15, you want to look like you're 15. It's good, man. Embrace it. Especially if you're female, especially in the social media. You don't look thrashed and haggard and burnt out. Late nights, man, they kill it. So, anyway, that's just the deal. Just saying.